Hey guys, welcome back to another NRL fantasy video. We're here with Paddy. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You're one of our members in the private group, and you're currently an overall rank of 416. How are you finding this year's fantasy going for you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously great. Ranked 416, down from 30,000 last year, so bloody happy. The fantasy group chat we're all in is bloody great too. Hey.
Yeah, you seem to have proved a lot and gotten a lot of players that we've been high on, like the Aaron Clark, the Hudson
Yeah,
Young there, the Fletcher Sharps, the Mitch Barnett, and they've all been doing quite well for you, along with Toby Couchman there.
yeah, they've all been great, and that's all from the group chat too. So great pods there.
What's your next thoughts with your team moving forward?
Well, I've used all my trades thus far, so I'm probably going to hold my trades this week. Maybe get rid of Hubner, and don't know what to do with Jenkins.
Any interest in bringing in a Oh, you already got Hugo Savala, so yeah, probably just hold off there. Probably try to bring in another wing fullback there, so you don't have to play Jenkins every single week.
Yeah, not
But
too sure though. There's not many good ones at a good price.
yeah, other than that, you're looking good. What are you going to do when Origin comes around? If you have all four of Yo, May, Haas, and Horsburgh playing Origin there.
Yeah, so put Barnett to start. Crouchman will start. Oh, Crouchman's got a buy round 12. Hey,
Yeah,
so probably get rid of Yo and Huss and hold team A through Origin, I reckon, and
yeah,
find two options. Maybe top an A for Noel Blake could be a good option,
yeah.
but not too sure yet.
That sounds like a good enough plan there. And have you been planning much for round 12?
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm doing a wrap for round 12. Besides Origin, sorry. But a lot of my players are playing round 12, which is good.
Yeah, and that's where you make bulk of or even more ranks than you already have there. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I'm planning on making ranks with my team. If wants to pull up here quickly. Yeah, so that's what we're currently sitting with there. You see me, we brought in Aaron Clark and Bowie Fermor this week for they're coming up for Stafford Torre and the Fafu White. I just feel now Victor Adley's back. Wife's going to lose his minutes there, and Aaron Clark's a good round 12 hooker to have there. And Bo Fermor, fresh off 100, and the news about David Feeder means he probably won a spot there at the second row.
Yeah, what happened to Dave Feeder? Is he
He's
just
just been,
dropped?
yeah, he's just been dropped.
Oh, it's a bit harsh.
Yeah, it is. But I feel like this team's are looking pretty good. Billy Burns will have to be a trade out soon. I brought him in for short term gain there and a couple of good scores there, hopefully. But other than that, I like where my team's sitting personally.
Yeah, what are you going to do with Ponga?
Oh, I think I'm just going to hold him. He's at 440k. Hold him for at least the next 3 rounds and hope he can get back up to 600k and do enough for me to hold him. He is still averaging 40.7 there to keep in mind. So kind of so down
Yeah,
on price because of his rolling average there. So if he can find a bit of form, he'll do well, I hope.
he'll play Origin though, won't he?
Yeah, he should. I don't know what really other options they'd go with there.
Jai Gray maybe.
Yeah, have to smoke you though. I don't really think he's up to Origin
Ham-
standard yet.
Hammer could go fullback.
Yeah, that could be shout for what they do there, but who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, yeah.
But in my eyes, he's just way too expensive to be selling. Sorry, way too cheap to be selling.
Oh yeah, not worth selling yet.
Yeah,
Too late to sell.
for someone of his caliber too.
Yeah, not wrong.
Let's get into these Magic Round team lists here. So you see the Sharks team list there. Not much on this side here. You see KL Hero coming back, which he's probably a good option, but not really one to look at for now. Maybe round 12. Do you have any interest in Nico Hines? Personally, I don't. That game of 48 kick meters yesterday or last week kind of put me off him a fair bit.
Yeah.
What do you think about Nico?
Well, he won't play Origin. Does he have round 12?
He does play round 12, yeah.
It could be a good pickup, maybe for Cleary if he's playing Origin, but I would probably steer clear. I reckon.
Yeah, I do think that it's probably too overpriced, and a Jamal Fogarty is going to do better than him and have a better base there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Going down, Blake Brayley looks like a pretty solid round 12 hooker there. He is plays 80 minutes at hooker and is quite consistent with 45s to 50s there. He probably won't make much money, but if you want to anti-pot Aaron Clark, as you think he'll lose minutes when James Fisher-Harris comes back, he's probably your man there, I would say.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout, but I like Aaron Clark a lot, and
Yeah.
I reckon he keeps his minutes.
I feel like you don't go near Billy Burns now. Teague Wilton's still not in the emergencies, but probably due back next week or the week after there. So, yeah, it's
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
big.
short-term game.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I agree.
not much else on their bench there. But you go on to the Eels. Iongi, is he one you're just going to hold now if Mitch Moses is back and them looking better with Moses playing last week?
Yeah, wouldn't sell Ongi. He was actually quite good the other week, and with Moses, he'll get more attacking stats. So good hold for now.
Yeah, and they do play round 12, I believe.
Think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's good for the wing fullback there. Um, kind of a shaped up team here with Riley Smith starting at 9 and Charlie Geimer starting at 11. Do you have any interest in those two being cash down options?
Oh, probably not. I wouldn't bring in either one of them at the moment. Riley Smith's only getting 30 points a game, I think.
Mm.
And yeah, playing some solid minutes too. So PPM's not great.
I do think you can probably give Charlie Geimer a week and see how much he goes. Like he won't
Yeah,
really make much cash if he plays 80 minutes there,
he will. Yeah.
but still got a very interesting reserves with Ryan Madison and Bryce Cartwright still down there, who are two of their. Although he Kelma Tuolangi is out for 3 weeks, so Charlie Geimer could have a big minute role for 3 weeks there.
Yeah, good point.
Going on down to the Roosters, not much on here. Do you reckon Robert Tweeter's time is over and now it's time to sell him?
Yeah, I sold him a week back, and his scores aren't that great. He gets the odd 60, but most weeks gets about 30, 35. So I'd been moving him on.
Yeah, he's just not really running the ball very strong there. Doesn't run it. Well, he runs strong, but doesn't run it much there, and just not
Yeah,
really any attacking stats there.
no.
Sandon Smith, he's one to hold now after that hectic game from him on the weekend. But his half partner, would you be looking to buy him now, 277K after getting a 57?
Yeah, definitely bring him in. I think his break even's negative 16, so a lot of money to make there. Even if he averages 35 to 40, he'll still make a ton of money.
Yeah, and what to do with Connor Watson there? It's probably going to be come off the bench for the New South Wales Blues there. Has dropped a lot in price down to like 670K there. Do you think he's one now before their round 10 buy? You can kind of move on, or is it
Yeah,
you kind of
move him
hold
on
now?
this week.
Yeah.
Not too sure of his break even, but he won't make money for sure. So
And
move
then
him on.
the same question goes with Nafafu White, who has a break even of around 45 there. Probably losing minutes now, as you can see, with Victor Radley back. And you do see that Egan Butcher is back there too. Do you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
now he is a sell, or is it he plays round 12 for that dual position? You hold him until round 12 and then sell him around 13.
Yeah, I'd hold him to around 12 because I think he'll get some minutes around 12 with a few of the Origin boys out. And it'll be a great player for Origin period in round 12. So I'd be holding.
Yeah, and then Sua Wong, who has kind of fallen off a little bit in scoring, do you think he's one to hold, or is it more he's maxed out in price now, and you can kind of trade him to the Carrazes or Clarks of the world?
Yeah, it's a tough one again. I'd probably look to hold him to around 12 again
Yeah,
because
hold it at least this week, and if you're going to trade him next week when he's on his bye, is how I feel.
yeah, exactly right. Yeah. See how it
Um,
goes.
Not much on the Dolphins side. Herbie Farnworth, he's going to be a season-long keeper. Does play
Yeah.
around 12, so yeah, if you're interested in him, bring him in. And Isaiah Katoa, who is one of my side, currently 672K, he's been killing it, gone 60 and a 46 the last 2 weeks. He averages about 50 for the season. Do you have any interest in anti-potting Jamal Fogarty and Nico Hines with bringing in Katoa?
Oh, me personally, not. I've got Fogarty and I'm pretty happy with him too. So I'd be looking to get more at Fogarty instead of Katoa, but it's still a great option with Katoa.
Yeah, he's probably got more base there,
Upside. Yeah.
Fogarty, and does it in play kicking. He probably, yeah. Not much else. Jeremy Marshall King could be an interesting option there as a cash down cheaper hooker.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk us through the night side here?
Yeah, right. So no one in, I think. But we got Kalen Ponga, who it's a tricky one for the owners, isn't it? what to do
Yeah,
with Ponga.
it's
I
kind of
feel like
like
this.
you probably got to hold considering he's 550K now. And if you told me
Yeah,
at the start of the season Ponga was 550K, I would be buying him every day of the week.
yeah, yeah. But he's still got a high break even 76, I think.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be bringing him in till after Origin, but it'll be great after Origin, I reckon. Cheap. Uh, what's your thoughts on Greg Marju?
Oh, yeah, he went absolutely crazy 2 weekends ago. Kind of came back with a 40. He just keeps pumping out scores there. A little bit overpriced now, and I do think with him being around the same price as Fletcher Sharp, I'd be going for a Sharp. But
Yeah,
yeah, Greg's not bad, and Greg is definitely one to look at. But the Knights playing so bad there.
true. And do you see Fletcher Sharp a must-have with playing round 12, and he won't play Origin either?
Yeah, well, not a must-have. I would have Jacob Kraz over him, but a very, very good buy there, and he will do very well. And that dual position too is very handy.
Yeah, yeah. Another one, Kai Pierce Paul. What do you reckon?
Yeah, he's been killing it recently. Kind of fall back to pack with that 49 there. Do think he missed 6 tackles there, but yeah, if he can get a
Very
couple
base
tackle
game.
stats, he's going to score very, very well there at the edge. Interesting pod, but personally, I'd be going for a Bowie Thermal over him at kind of the same price.
Yeah, and Dylan Lucas, you bringing him back soon, or
Nah,
what's your
same. I'd
thoughts?
I'd be going for a Bowie Thermal, even though he doesn't play around 12. I'd still be going for Bowie over both of them.
Yeah, yeah. And nothing. Well, Thomas Kent dropped to the reserves.
Yeah, that was kind of expected to happen there. I'd say.
Yeah, so he's a must sell, obviously.
Yeah.
On to the Rabbits. Jai Gray back at fullback. Probably no interest.
No interest there, but if he can perform well, and hopefully he does, he could get that fullback spot for Origin, and then Ponga can stay in clubland.
Yeah,
Would be helpful.
you'd be happy with
Yeah, be very happy.
that. Lachlan Hubner dropped to the bench.
Yeah, Hubner down at 15 there. Probably one, maybe to hold, just to see how many minutes he gets off that bench there. But
It won't be many.
yeah, it shouldn't be many, but I probably think hold. He's still got a lower break even there. Should at least hold cash and could be back starting next week. You never know.
Yeah. Anyone else you're interested from the Rabbits?
Not really. Just keep holding Peter Mamazoulis while he's cranking out these big scores.
Oh
Is
yeah,
what I would
he's
say.
been good. The
Yeah.
Rabbits play around 12.
No, they don't.
Right.
And then yeah, onto the Warriors team. Let's see. You see not much change there, not much interest in the back line, but in the forward pack, there's a fair bit of interest there with Wade Egan starting at 9. He's been killing it, 700 odd K there. Probably a little bit too much to pay for Wade Egan as a hooker.
Yeah.
But one that's very interesting there to start to go with if you want a kind of a pod hooker there. Leka Halasima looks to have won that 12 spot there. Didn't play massive minutes last weekend, got 37 and 39 minutes there. Do you have any interest in Leka being a little bit of a cheaper price?
Yeah, there's a lot of interest actually. I'm not too sure what his price is exactly, but if he's pumping up those scores, then he definitely could be a buy.
Yeah, especially if he gets bigger minutes. I probably would wait one more week to see if he can get those bigger minutes, but
Yeah.
it's probably maybe could be a bit too late there. And Aaron Clark, is he close to your buy of the week after that incredible 81? Or are you worried
Yeah.
that when James Fisher Harris comes back, he'll take a little bit of minutes away from Aaron?
I mean, Aaron will lose some minutes when Fisher comes back, without a doubt. But I still think if he gets 55 minutes, you're looking at 60 points from him. His work rate's great.
Yeah, and
And
he's definitely he's done enough to keep earn that spot there. That's his spot now.
he's been great, yeah.
And I do think Dylan Walker leaving does a lot for him, like a lot of good for his minutes.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
He's
and then
probably the buy.
on the Cowboys side, they don't play round 12, but I would have Scott Drinkwater probably as one of the best wing fullback buys this week. I held on to him and he's been killing it the last 3 weeks. The Cowboys found a bit of good form here now. And yeah, do you have any interest in Scott Drinkwater being a very good wing fullback option to bring in this week?
Yeah, definitely. But I'm looking at bringing him round 13 because there's no buys till around 27 or 26 for Cowboys after round 12. So he'll be great over the origin period.
Yeah, he's probably one that, for me, I'm holding him because of that 15 and 18 coverage. But if you don't own him, probably bring him in around 13. Hopefully for you guys, he can bottom out at like 640 odd K there. Jackson Purdue, he's one that you're holding until his scoring keeps dropping off.
Yeah, he's a bit concerning because he's really reliant on the attacking stats.
Yeah. Are you
So,
trying to play him each and every week?
I might loop him this week if he gets a good score, play him. But you got that risk of getting a 20-point game from him.
Yeah. And then yeah, almost nothing in the forward pack there. Jeremiah Nanai, a little bit of a cheaper edge there, who got a 70 odd on the weekend. Do you have any interest in Jeremiah Nanai, and do you think he's going to start on the edge for Queensland?
I don't think he'll start. His form's not been great, but he did get 2 tries, right?
Yeah, got a 75.
Yeah, so very, very boosted by attacking stats. But we know Nanai can get those attacking stats, so could be one to look out for, watch.
Yeah, probably give him one more week to see if he can kind of go for a 50 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on to my Tigers. Not much changed. Very good win from us on the weekend, but yeah, no, really, not much in the back line. Then they don't play around 12 there, so we're looking at many. But do you think Terrell May is now a must-have if you don't already own him, unfortunately? And is he one you
Uh,
hold throughout Origin?
yeah, I'd hold him through Origin because you'll need him back after. He's pumping at 70 with like 70 minimum with great stats and great minutes too. So, I mean, you have to have Terrell May and
Yeah,
probably captain him too.
yeah, definitely. And then Alex Seyfarth, who pumped out a 60 on the weekend, is he one you hold to around 12 and hopefully get a 600K? Then you are moving on, move him on.
Yeah, I'd hold him to around 12, move him on. I sold him a few weeks back, but he had a good game, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a good player there for that. And on the Dragon side, they could be a little bit more of an interesting team. Don't play round 12 either, but a guy that I have a lot of interest in as a keeper center there could be Valentine Holmes. Hasn't had any of his massive games yet, and for Valentine, they're probably only around the corner. Do you have any interest in Valentine at all?
I think he'll play Origin, to be honest.
Yeah, he
So,
will.
yeah, so I had no interest in bringing him in now.
Yeah, probably not at
Maybe.
this side at this time of the season.
Yeah.
So with King Togia star being 230K, do you have any interest in him? And looking at his reserve grade, he averages about 60 kicking meters a game. And with that in mind, does that give you any interest in Kyle Flanagan at all?
Yeah, geez, well, Flanagan will get kicking meters, won't he?
Yeah,
So then I'd give it a week, see how he goes. But if he's pumping up big base stats, I'd bring Flanagan in.
yeah. It's definitely one to look at or keep an eye on. Put them in your watch list, both of them, see how they go, because you're not going to make too much cash being 230K there.
Yeah.
So you see Toby Couchman still a very strong option there. No, I probably wouldn't be buying now for around 12. Buy right around the corner.
Yeah, I wouldn't be buying him now. He got a very poor score, 44, I think. So,
Yeah.
hey, this
Dylan,
minutes look affected.
yeah, got 49. Dylan Egan is finally in that 11 jersey. So hopefully he can get a little bit more minutes than 51 he got on the weekend and pump out a good score there.
Yeah, all he needs is minutes, and then he gets massive scores. So
Yeah. He
just
will
hoping
be
for the minutes.
he'll be one to hold though, because you do think probably maybe Couchman off the bench for Origin, maybe. And Jaden Silver is probably a lock for Queensland there. So you would say
Yeah,
that Egan will play big minutes in round not 12, but maybe around 13 if he doesn't back up, then 15,
yeah,
etc. Yeah.
yeah. Definitely hold Egan. Break even of 22 still, so he'll make money.
Yeah. And Hamish Stewart, any interest in him starting at 13?
Yeah. What's he priced at? Do you know?
No, if he's about 400 odd K.
Yeah. Definitely one to look out for. See how his minutes are as a starting role. But I'd steer clear this week. But look at him next week. See how he goes.
Yeah, definitely there. And Blake Laurie dropped, so hopefully bigger minutes for old mate as he was taking Egan's minutes there.
Yeah.
Geez, the report out of Titans is what is going on. I would say Dave Fafita is one of the best edges in the comp, and he's been dropped after pumping out a 92 and everyone was looking to buy him. But with that
Yeah.
said, Chris Randall starting at 11 is crazy.
Yeah.
With that
He's
said,
a middle.
do you think Bowie Fermor is now a very, very strong buy and close to a must-have?
Yeah. I'm not bringing him in because it was a very boosted by attacking stats, obviously. But he did pump out some good base. But I don't know. It's a tough one, isn't it? Probably. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe
Yeah,
bring him in if you want.
at 650K and a lower break even there. The only problem is he could maybe start on the vacant edge spot for Queensland, but other than that, I think Bowie is Yeah, probably a very, very strong buy this week.
He is a good buy. Yeah, I can see why you buy him.
Yeah, not much else I'd go with on this Titans team. AJ Brimson's a hold now. He's been scoring a little bit better there. Um,
Very attacking stat reliant.
yeah, Tino, with that bench, he should be playing big minutes there. Hold him until at least Origin.
Yeah, he'll play Origin though.
Yeah, and the Bulldogs have one of the best buy rounds you can get. They play 12, 15, and 18 there. Jacob Kraz, do you think he's a very good buy this week? Got about 33 points in one half last week there.
Yeah, the Bulldogs were rolled in the first half. He couldn't do anything. But do you think he plays Origin with Lomax being out?
Personally, I don't. I feel like they'll put Turbo on the wing and they'll put Toto on the other wing.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, then Kira's is a must-have.
Yeah, that he's underpriced in that dual position. He's yet to score a try too this season.
Yeah, he doesn't score many either.
Yeah, I know, but when he does, he really goes crazy.
Oh yeah, if he gets a try, he gets 70.
Do you think Reed Marnie is an interesting option? Very cheap for Reed, and if he doesn't play Origin, he could be a hooker you get for 12, 15, and 18 and just plug him there.
Yeah, yeah, I can see he could be a good buy, but he does miss a lot of tackles.
And he's been
So
scoring terribly.
yeah, so I mean, over the buy rounds, he could be a great option.
Yeah, he could be, and just probably one of those players you buy for the buy rounds.
Yeah, not a bad option.
And Jacob Preston, he's very expensive now, about 760 odd K. Do you think he's still a very good buy on the edge now? Is there better buys in that edge position?
Yeah, he'd be my number one target for the edge spot. Him or Hudson Young, depends if Young plays Origin.
You assume one of them will, out of Preston or Young. They've probably been the inform edges in the comp.
Probably Young gets it. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be looking at Preston.
Yeah, I think he's a very strong option there. What is going on with the Panthers too? Bottom of the table. What is going on?
I don't even know. They've still got a solid team, a great spine. So they should be getting the job done. But I think Broncos will flog them this week.
Well, I'm of a different opinion there. Good thing I'm not a tipper, but I would put a lot of money on the Penrith Panthers to win. I got a feeling. I had a feeling last week and they let me down, but I think Cleary's too good to not make this team win, and they're going to be hungry. They need it. They need to be hungry there.
They need a win.
But yeah, going on with it. Really, the only player you'd really be targeting in this team is Cleary and Yo. They're probably both holds through the Origin period too, as both of them will play. I am hearing reports that Edwards and Cleary could get sacked though, and Edwards in a tough wing fullback spot being a little bit cheaper. Do you think he could be an interesting option there at 665 odd K?
Well, yeah, definitely. If he's not playing Origin, definitely look at buying him because he's got some great base stats, and that's rare for a fullback.
Yeah, he's got very good base stats, and then when he gets those tries, he goes into those 70 scores there.
Yeah, and Cleary, is he being sacked?
Well, not being confirmed, but most likely hearing reports that he could be getting axed for Moses.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, I'll be obviously holding him then.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer there. And do you think Selwyn Cobbo with that dual position is a very interesting option? He probably will play Origin there, that is said.
Yeah, he'll play Origin. I wouldn't be looking at buying him. He is very, very cheap though. So if you want him for 3 weeks that there's no Origin, then could bring him in.
Hot take of the year. If Cobbo can keep up some good form at the back, he could be the Queensland fullback.
It's not a bad shout, actually. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, but yeah, it's probably one to keep an eye out.
Definitely keep an eye. Yeah.
Payne Haas, he's a gun. Holding for Origin. Not much more to say there.
Yeah, we can't hold all the middles.
Yeah, we're going to have to by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Xavier Willison looks like a proven edge now, and looks like he's won that spot. Do you have any interest in Willison with that dual position there? Who they do play round 12 too, don't they?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, they do play. I think round 12. Yeah. Yeah, I'd be looking at Willison. He's been great, really, on the edge, and he's getting some good minutes.
Yeah,
and yeah. So
I did
definitely
hear
look at
a report that they were trying to breed Willison into that big minute edge row there, and he played well there in the weekend. And looks like Piacor is really out of favour there.
Yeah, Piacor is great, and Wilson's a better option.
Yeah, so he's probably a very good buy
But
there.
there
And
is 2 second rows on the bench for the Broncos, so look out for that.
yeah, but could be mean massive minutes for Payne Haas there.
That's true. Yeah.
So onto the Storm side, Pappenhausen, do you think he's one that you're holding? He probably won't play Origin. Could probably like I'd say 10% chance there. Is he one you hold till round 12 and maybe look to upgrade him to another wing fullback, or is he going to be a season long keeper?
Season long. If he doesn't play Origin, season long keeper for Pappy
Yeah,
because he can get those massive scores on this day.
like
On
he was
this day.
still going to get a 50 on the weekend if it wasn't for that sin bin there.
Yeah.
Just such a good player there. So many attacking stats. Cam Munster's probably he has been playing a little bit better recently. So hold or sell through the Origin period, whatever you want to do there. But a player that becomes very interesting to me is Jerome Hughes. Down a lot of money from last year there. Do you have any interest in Jerome Hughes as a good backup halfback for the Origin period?
He's a great option in the halfback for Origin because obviously doesn't play Origin. And I'm not too sure what their buy schedule's like the Storm,
They don't play
but
around 12.
do they play 15, 18?
I don't know if they play 15. I don't know about 18.
Yeah. Well, definitely look at Hughesy because he's bloody cheap, eh?
Yeah, it is very cheap. I
And he'll
put
get big scores.
him in the same breed as Eli Katoa, who is pretty underpriced there for someone that's as good. And I mean, this Storm team, when they flick it on, these guys can score points any given week.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and Trent Arrow could also be another smoky. I think he will get that bench spot for Queensland personally.
Who's this, sorry?
Trent Arrow.
Yeah, he could get the option. I mean, get the bench spot because he's been great, hasn't he?
Yeah, and do you think Stefano Utoatakamano is going to get axed now from Origin? Definitely won't be starting, but off the bench.
No, yeah, he won't be picked.
Yeah. And yeah, on the Raiders side, not much here. You got really Jamal Fogarty there. He's probably the only buy in this team, along with Joe Tarpany. The rest, you hold Hudson Young. He'll play Origin. Be reassessed if he gets selected for Origin. And yeah, Corey Horsburgh, do you reckon he's a hold or is he a sell when if he plays Origin?
Yeah, because you've got if he plays Origin, you kind of have to sell him because you want to keep paying him teammate, and you
Yeah.
can't have all that money sitting on the emergencies.
No, you
So
can't. And yeah. So he's probably one that you sell. Maybe to a Joe Tarpany who is looking quite good there.
yeah, he's looking good, eh?
Yeah, he's playing real well.
Good
But
stats.
yeah, I think that's about it. Owen Paddy, he's probably one to sell now to Hugo Savala.
Yeah, I wouldn't be playing him.
Yeah, that's all. That's all we got time for. So, yeah, thanks for watching. And do you have any last comments, Paddy?
No, that's it for me.
Great, thanks for joining us, guys. See you in the next one.
Yeah.